Welcome back, Rankers. The mow is gone and I will not be growing another one until next year. And thank you to everybody who donated and sponsored the mow. We raised quite a few dollars for men's health. So thank you one and all. It's so nice having it off my face, I've got to tell you. I thought I was going to have to start wearing more leather if I wore the mow any longer. A couple of things this morning. Last week's show generated a lot of interest when we were hearing whispers out of Google saying that they're going to start trying to track forum spam for backlinks, and we've also seen in recent times, just in last week actually, Google's brought out a post about comment spam and why it's a bad thing on blogs and how you can block it on your own blog, but also if you are a comment spammer, why it's not a good idea to do. So we've seen those two things in the last week come out of Google about trying to crack down on these spammy backlinks that we see. And then we've also heard, probably over the last 5 months, Google talking about page load times. We've had Matt Cutts talk about it, Google's senior anti-spam engineer. We've had some of the founders of Google talk about page load times and how faster load times are going to be more important in the future. And basically what Google's trying to do with this is it's trying to get people to take note of their websites and basically try to make sure that they're more user-friendly when it comes to loading times. So does this mean that Google will penalise sites that may have slow load times? I'd prefer to think of it as Google will probably reward sites that have faster load times and good content. And then today, and thanks to Samuth, our senior techie here at Stuart Media, he's just pointed out this announcement from Google this morning saying that they've launched a synchronous tracking code for Google Analytics. Now, whilst that seems terribly dry and boring, and it is, it's also very interesting that they're doing this because they're trying to speed up the load time of your page and they don't want their Google Analytics code to be part of the problem. So according to Google this morning, this new asynchronous tracking code is going to speed up the page load time because every time you load a page, it has to execute all the script that's in the page. So what Google's saying here basically is that it's improved their own code and JavaScript for analytics, and they're also saying it's going to be we're going to have better reporting data on that, because as many of you may know who use Google Analytics, it can be a bit buggy and flaky at times, but quite frankly I'm not paying for it, so I'm not complaining. Also today we've had a couple of posts about video and the proliferation of video, and thank you for Siobhan Bulfin from New Zealand, although today she's heading to Brisbane, for pointing out this post from Brian Solis. And basically, you know, we're getting a lot of people saying this, hey, video's big. Well, yes, it is. YouTube is sort of, you could class it as the world's second biggest search engine because it gets more search queries than Yahoo and MSN combined, or Bing, I should say. But it's been going to be big for the last 10 years. Back in 1999, I used to do a show, a daily show. We used to get about 45,000 views per month for that show. Today it's considerably less, but back then there wasn't a lot of video around. Today there's a lot more competition and we've gone more niche rather than broad. But I just wanted to show you a couple of things that you should know about video, especially if you're doing YouTube video. One of the things that I would, I guess, recommend that you do is start off slowly. And you don't have to do something to camera like I do. And I know a lot of people out there say that, oh, people are a lot more tolerant of bad quality on the web. Well, they are at the moment, right? With video still being sort of the domains of propeller heads, and if it's a funny video, people will accept bad quality and those sorts of things. But if you're a business and you're trying to put forward a certain brand or sense of quality, I guess, you don't want to really be doing dodgy videos. So one of the ways that you can dip your toe in the water is to maybe do a slideshow. to photographs of whatever it is that you do. And I'll use tourism as the example, as in Australia I think it's way underutilised for video. And I spoke at i4Travel last week, an international travel conference, about this, and you know, less than 1% of the people in the room who are in the travel industry were doing videos on YouTube. I don't understand why, because it's easy, it's cheap. And if you start off with a slideshow, go and take some photographs of your venue or your caravan park or whatever it might be, and just stitch them together. You can go off and get what we call pod-safe music. Just go and Google these things, and you can use that music as a backing track for the video, and start getting into it that way. Tools that you can use to stitch together a slideshow: if you're on Windows, you can use the Windows Movie Maker, which comes free with Windows. And if you're on a Mac, of course, you can use iMovie, and all these tools are free.